Happy Friday. Get comfortable, let's talk. Because there is a question that keeps coming up, so we should discuss it. Why is it that just because our property taxes are going up 30, 40, 50% next year, why is it that local governments need a 30, 40, 50% increase in money? Ruth, Larry, Tom, Pam, Wayne, others of you have asked. Marshall Zellinger has your answer.
When you get your next property tax bill in the mail, none of the money will go to the state. Yet state lawmakers are the ones trying to tweak the math to reduce the increase your next bill will show. Your property tax dollars go to local governments where you live, your city, your county, your school district, and any number of 4,000 special taxing districts. But for those districts to determine the mill levies that will ultimately add up to your total property tax bill, they need to know if the state is going to make some of your property's value tax-free or lower the assessment rate that helps determine your property's taxable value.
Local governments, the 4,000 plus out there, are being asked to do a math equation for which they don't have a key variable to do the equation on.
Ginny Pingenot worked with local governments for 2 decades, and we took your questions to her. Just because your property value went up 40%, why do local governments need 40% more also? Why not lower their mills, which would lower your property tax bill?
Not all local governments are going to find themselves in the position where they can lower their mill levy. A good example would be schools.
The bulk of most people's property taxes go to their local school district, but for almost every school district, local property taxes do not provide enough money based on the dollar amount they're supposed to receive per pupil each year. The state is supposed to backfill the difference, and next year will be the first year the state provides 100% backfill since 2009. Smaller districts like fire protection districts, library districts, and water and sanitation districts, those might have more flexibility, but the impact on your property tax bill would not necessarily be significant.
Local governments have modified their mill levies downward in a temporary fashion so that they can make sure that the amount of revenue that they're bringing in corresponds with what they need to pay the bills of society and what the community is expecting of them.
Pingenot estimates that 60 to 70% of a property tax bill is unlikely to be modified with any kind of mill reduction, meaning the rest, 30 to 40%, might have flexibility. Some districts are bound by a state law that limits year-to-year increases to just 5.5%, so that could limit the increase of certain people's property tax bills, but many districts have waived that limit.
I would think that if for no other reason than to make like an ideological statement about values, that there would be some governments in Colorado that would want to go ahead with this right now and say, you know what, we don't need all this extra money. We are going to take in less.
But they can't do it without the math, and if the state's going to make some of it tax-free of your property value and reduce this percentage, they don't know that end bulk number based on all the properties in their district. This is how much we might be able to get if our mill is this. They can't do it, and they're going to have to rush to do it by December 15th is their deadline, I think, to set their mills. So they're kind of hosed right now by state lawmakers because they were planning a yes on HH budget and a no on HH budget. So it's like, oh, we have our no on HH budget. But now the lawmakers are going to change the math again, so that no on HH budget is out the window.
What could go wrong with complex numbers and rushing?
I'm a journalist. I don't know.
Marshall, thank you.